Welcome, everybody, to the new episode of The Podcast, brought to you by Silphco. Need to catch that random Pokemon? Use a Master Ball. And where can you find those Master Balls? Silphco. My name is Draco, and I'm joined today by my co-hosts, SonRyu.
What's up?
And GoodGamerGlen.
Yeah, hello.
And today's episode, we're going to be going over Pokemon Legends Arceus. So with every new adventure of Pokemon, there is always a chance to see regional variants, and Pokemon Legends Arceus is no different. Even though we are in what was the past Sinnoh regions, we do get new forms of old favorites. So starting off, we're going to take a look at the starters. We have Hisuian Decidueye, Hisuian Typhlosion, and Hisuian Samurott.
I like the new types and the way how they look. I think they're all gonna be really good regardless of who you choose. The design, I love all the design for it. Like I said, they look all really good. Except maybe Typhlosion, because I want to see how his flame's gonna be before I decide if I like it or not.
Honestly, I was kind of very underwhelmed when I saw these designs. I was like, they didn't do much to them. Like, my first impression, I didn't know what they were thinking, so I felt a little underwhelmed. Like, I saw the Hisuian Decidueye, and I'm like, really? This is what they're going for? Then I saw Hisuian Typhlosion, and I'm like, yeah, he looks like a very sad boy, and I feel sad for him too, because it looks like he didn't get much treatment. And then I saw Samurott, and I'm like, what did they do to him? Did they just give him a palette swap? Is that what it is? Some designs. That was all first impressions though. Like, and then after looking at them a little bit, like for a while, it's like, you know what? That's fine. You know, if this is how they're gonna look like how many years ago in the timeline-ish kind of thing, and they're not gonna look like this again later on, then sure, why not? This is great. I mean, like the Decidueye's got like that Ronin Samurai look with like the straw hat. Typhlosion, yeah, like I said, he looks like a little sad boy, but I think from his typing Fire Ghost, there's probably going to be like some lore behind that, so I definitely want to check that out. And you know what, Samurott, I had problems with you when I first saw you in Gen 5, and now at least you look a little bit edgier, so I can approve. Still starting with Oshawott for Legends of Arceus.
I'm getting very distinct feels from 2 out of the 3 starters. With Samurott, there really didn't seem much of a difference. I mean, the typing is nice, but I still feel like he's still the same Pokemon from the original game. And then you've got Hisuian Decidueye, and every time I see him, all I can picture is running through Lost Woods while Skull Kid plays on that stupid ocarina of his. If you've played Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And for me, Hisuian Typhlosion reminds me, especially with the typing, of the Terror Dogs from Ghostbusters. And I cannot shake that image from my head. But that's kind of how I feel about those 3 in particular. I haven't even decided on which one I'm going for. It's just to me, they're just so meh. Moving on, we're looking at Hisuian Growlithe and Arcanine.
For these two, I mean, when Hisuian Growlithe was already introduced, I thought, oh my god, this little pupper is so cute, you know? Like, he's got, like, his hair covering his face and everything. I thought it was pretty cool, because, like, he is based off Komainu or something like that. Those, like, lion dog statue things. So I thought that's a cool aesthetic already. I like it. That's cool. So I always wonder, like, oh, what's the evolved form going to be? Like, is it going to be, like, a brand new Pokemon? Or is it going to actually be, like, a Hisuian of him? Now, after seeing the leaks, it's like, oh, it's Hisuian Arcanine. And I'm like, I gotta say, it looks pretty cool. He's really edgy looking as well. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong with red and black for this kind of stuff. I'm just waiting to see like how he's gonna do like competitively, because he is Fire Rock, and Fire Rock isn't really the greatest typing out there either. But I can't wait to see like what his stats are and like what he can do.
Okay, yeah, I like the design for Hisuian Growlithe because it looks pretty cool, and it's a new typing. Fire Rocks isn't too bad, but can also do better. Hisuian Arcanine looks pretty cool. Just more lovely like hair on it, make it look puppy, and I like the design for it. So
For me, like, I saw Hisuian Growlithe, and I thought, okay, I kind of see where they're going with this, and I'm honestly, I guess the idea in my head was a little bit different, but I'm not upset at how Hisuian Arcanine rolled. They did a pretty decent job, I think. The fact that the mane now looks like armor as opposed to just kind of the flames, you definitely have that feel, that connection to the Guardian statues like you had mentioned before. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm actually digging the design on this overall. I actually do like these. Moving on, we have Hisuian Voltorb and Hisuian Electrode.
Dun, dun, dun.
I love Hisuian Voltorb, but Electrode, I'm like, really? All they did was change his design upside down and then take out the eyebrow and make him look like mad. So they want to change the way how he looks. I like both design, honestly, and I actually like the type.
Okay, so I did like Hisuian Voltor when they first announced it. I thought the idea was already pretty good because olden day Pokeball-ish type Pokemon, how Voltor would have been if he was in the olden days. Which they gave him that wooden aesthetic, which is pretty good. I liked it, and his eyebrow thing, I think that just makes it like pretty cool too. But then the Electrode, I don't know, man. I mean, like, he lost the eyebrows. It would have been cool if he still had the eyebrows, you know, like just a different color. And he looks really angry here. So I'm kind of waiting for the lore on this, or on the Pokedex entry for this guy, and I want to see why he's like super angry, or unless that's just how his face looks. I'm just hoping that these Pokemon also do well competitively. You know, we'd like to see some new Pokemon out there in the competitive field.
I don't know. For me, like appreciate the aesthetic that they decided to make them grass electric and that they look that they're carved out of wood. But when you look at the rest of the Pokedex, it doesn't make sense that they did this to them and not to everybody else who would have a similar feature to that. Like it doesn't fit to me. Like, I love the fact that they tried, but they could have just created a brand new Pokemon in its place. The typing I do enjoy, I do like, being the fact that it gives you an alternative to Rotom, but at the same time, I just wish they had done something a little different with them. They just kept them electric steel and just created a brand new mon entirely. I think that, for me, that was a missed opportunity. Again, don't get me wrong. Design-wise, I like the aesthetic. I like what they attempted to do, but they didn't apply it to all the other Pokemon that it would have applied to as well, or that it should have applied to as well. All right, moving on, we have Kleavor. Now, this one we've seen for a while since it was part of the promotional trailers that had dropped. But what are your guys thinking about the evolution of Cyther?
The only thing I would like gripe about it a little bit is just its face. Like, it's okay, I get it. They're going for like that old like samurai with beard look, right? Because like that thing on his head looks like a top knot, and then like, you know, he's got the eyebrows, and then like his side beard thing could be what it is. What I was kind of hoping they could have done is they just cover up his whole front face, so it actually looks like he's wearing a mask instead. I don't know, maybe he'll look a little bit too menacing. Other than that, the design and just the fact that Cyther has like another evolution in general is actually pretty cool. This is definitely something that would probably go on my team.
Kleavor, I actually like the design for it, and then the evolution for Cyther looks pretty cool. And it's a new Pokemon too that we've never seen before, and I can't wait to see what he can do. And the fact that he can use Self Rock as a attack, just pretty cool.
I mean, for me, I'm gonna say that I again, this is one of those that I'm kind of mixed about. Like, I appreciate the design work, the mixed medium of it being a bug and a rock type. I think personally the axe hands are just a little oversized for my taste, but I get that they're trying to imply how powerful this particular Pokemon is supposed to be compared to its unevolved forms. So, I mean, I get where and how they were going for. And this is one of those that I think I have to actually sit and see in game before I can really give it a good judgment on, personally.
Oh, on a side note, if you guys haven't already, you should check out our Maldo Battle at the Pond video on our YouTube channel.
Let's see, moving on, we have Hisuian Quillfish and Overquill. First off, Quillfish getting an evolution, awesome. The combination of dark and poison, holy cow. This is a great combo in my book. There's so much to play with here, and the evolution of Overquill, that thing just looks nasty. And I cannot wait to get my hands on it, because this looks amazing to me. The color scheme in itself works really well, and it just looks dangerous. And I love that the tips of the top spines look like they're oozing some form of poison. So, I mean, personally, design-wise, this one, beautiful.
I actually like both evolution. I'm finally glad this Pokemon got some love, because there were like some Pokemon that didn't get love for it. And then to see it, that it has a new form and the dual type of dark and poison, I like the typing as well for it. And then I think it'll be a good Pokemon to use.
So I definitely agree. The fact that Quillfish has a Hisuian form and his typing is dark poison is actually pretty neat, because like what Sun said, dark poison is already a good typing. It's only weak against ground. So my only thing now is, first off, I didn't even realize that was its name for its evolution. And second, when I first saw that Pokemon, I was like, Did somebody mess with one of the sliders during like character creation or something? Because look like they literally just like expanded. It's growing on me a little bit, but just like when I first saw it, I was like, somebody messed up in character creation here. What happened? But I'm excited to see what it has to offer. Like, even if, like, just imagine it, because it's dark and poison, so it's going to have, like, a really good defenses. If it still has Intimidate as well, and its stats are geared more towards defense, mwah, me gusta.
Pretty sure this Pokemon is gonna be either bulky or it's gonna be really strong.
Moving on, we have Hisuian Sneasel and Sneezler.
I actually like the new form. Poison fighting is really good. We don't have that many besides especially Croagunk and Toxicroak. For Sneasel, I actually like the new design. It looks beautiful, and I like the shiny color as well for it. It looks really good. And then the final form, it looks pretty cool. So just like a taller version of a Sneasel. He's probably gonna be really fast and strong. So like a class character build. That'll make him like formidable Pokemon to fight.
I like Hisuian Sneasel's color scheme. It's very nice. I like it. Poison fighting, yeah, I think we can use another one as well. Really super weak to Psychic though. I'm more used to like Sneasel being a Dark type, right? So like this is gonna be kind of an interesting thing to see later on during battle. Sneezler, that's another Pokemon just like Overquill. I didn't realize that its name was Sneezler. It's like this tall, lanky looking Sneasel that sometimes when it comes to Pokemon, when they become humanoid and they start looking a little too human, it kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. I mean, it's good. It's a brand new Pokemon. This is what I was like also kind of looking for. It's a brand new regional evolution that's not just like a Hisuian variant, but an actual brand new one. So
For me, Hisuian Sneasel looks great. The color scheme is beautiful. I love the purple. It has that nice pop with the poison type. And if you look inside the inner hand, it looks like its claws are dripping with poison, which I love. That combination.
That is cool.
Yeah. But I have a question. Who taught Wolverine, a Karen, and an emo kid with a hoodie the fusion dance? Because to me, Sneezler looks like the three of those combined. It's got the Karen, I want to speak to your manager face, and the claws are too reminiscent of Wolverine when he's popped them. And it just looks like Decidueye when it pulls the vines on his face and the hood comes in, like enclosing in its face in the normal Decidueye form. It looks like that, and honestly, I'm not a fan of this design. It is, like, you can see the connection to Sneasel, however, it just feels so lackluster, so blasé. It just looks like it just grew up and is now in its angsty teenage form. Really, I have nothing more on this one. Next up, we have Ursa Luna.
I'm all for this Pokemon. I believe it's supposed to be Ursaring's next stage evolution. So I guess Teddy Ursa is now a 2-stage evolution Pokemon or 3-stage evolution Pokemon. So I'm down for it. Like it looks kind of cool. It's bulky. It's a chonky boy. It's normal ground that just gives me like Diggersby vibes. So I feel like this thing is gonna hit hard. I think it's great. It looks like an armored bear or something, or like a war bear that I could just like ride on into battle, basically. So, I'm down for it.
Oh, I love this design of Ursa Luna, right? To see as a normal ground type, which is pretty cool because there aren't that many types as well out there, like Diggersby, and then it's gonna hit it's gonna be probably somewhat bulky but very strong as well, like the Ursaring form. I love both the normal and the shiny form because the shiny is he's red. So the way they had to design it, I actually like the way how it looks. Really good. So I can't wait to see it in battle.
Yeah, for me, this thing just looks like something you do not want to mess with. I like the big chunky boy. He looks mean. He is mean. And I mean, this thing looks menacing. And I love it for the way it looks. And also the fact that his face kind of looks like the moon scenery that you would see in a lot of the old paintings. So, I mean, for me, aesthetically speaking, this thing really resonates and I like it. Moving on to Weirdeer, the evolution of Stantler.
I like the design overall. It looks really cool. More psychic. Not a bad type. Just imagine it's like an older version of Stantler, but more like mature, of course, and ancient. I like the way how they design it, and the color is a grayish, right, or like silver. But I saw the sighting for it; it's the same color as the Stantler will be, which is green. I don't like that. Overall, the design looks pretty cool, and I like how you can ride it.
In my case, Weird Year, we've been seeing it a lot. I think it looks pretty good. Other than that, Stantler getting some love and getting in regional variant evolution thing, not too bad either. Normal psychic type, also not too bad. It's basically like a giraffe rig.
Grandpa got ran over by Grandpa Reindeer. For me, I like it. Don't get me wrong. It feels like Grandpa Stantler, but I can definitely be okay with the way they've aged the design up a little bit. Although the red nose is kind of funny. They're doing again like some of the other evolutions. They didn't really do too terribly much design-wise, but I can appreciate the attempt. Stantler was always one of my favorite ones just because of the way he looks. Moving over to Hisuian Liligan. This one, for me, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I get Lilymon vibes off of this. Definitely straight up Digimon stuff. And for me, it just lacks so much originality that I'm used to seeing in the Pokemon Company. I'm not entirely sure how this is supposed to relate in lore. So, I'll give it that much. But for the most part, this one feels too much like a ripoff of a Digimon, in my personal opinion.
When you put it that way, I can kind of look at it at a different perspective. Like, what if Hisuian Liligan, I mean, like Hisuian Growlithe, right? Like, what if Hisuian Liligan is actually the original Liligan before it turns into the Liligan that we know now? Like, I'm looking at this at the perspective of a Galarian Zigzagoon. You know how like people or the Pokemon Company was saying lore like maybe this was the original Zigzagoon, and then when it went over to Hoenn, it became more like timid or docile or whatever compared to like how it is there. So what if this is the case for Liligan here? Like this is its original like way of looking, and then it was brought over so like maybe it got exposed to all this Western scenery, and maybe that's why it started growing the dress. It's got the hat thing going for it as well. That's how I look at it. But other than that, Hisuian Liligan is going on that territory that I kind of like was talking about with Sneezler, where it's looking a little bit more human. Other than that, I guess it's fine, and I can definitely see how it's giving you Lilymon vibes as well.
Expecting to see Liligan get a new form, right? To see it like, yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying. It's kind of based on a ripoff form of Lilymon from Digimon, and for the typing grass fighting, I like it too. So I think this one will be really good to use as well, since there aren't that many grass fighting out there. So, and then the design, I actually like it.
Okay, so moving into Hisuian Boscolin, which is the white stripe form, which is only found in this area, and its evolution of male Boscoligian and female Boscoligian. The gender evolution thing, I like the spectrum thing that they always do, where the females and the males look different, but for the most part are still the same. And we're still talking about Water Ghost, and the only time I can remember this is Jellicent.
Oh yeah, the big jelly.
Yeah, the big jellyfish. The Jellicents were male and female evolution, and those were also Water Ghost type.
Colors.
Not only colors, but they actually had their forms were different. And in this case, it's the same. If you look at the mustache, the female form got a shorter mustache with blue coloring, whereas the male has the longer red mustache. I like this design, I really do. It's a lot of thought into this one, and you can tell by the sheer just size change on them for the evolution that they're older, they're much more robust, beefy, and they're tied to the lore, the Hisui region. So I really do like this design, and this is one of the ones that I really resonated with.
So I like the Hisuian form of Boscoligian, I'm sorry, and it's a white stripe. It looks beefy, so for the type to stay as the same as in water, which is still good. And then for the Boscoligian, I like both as a male and female. I didn't realize we were gonna have a female one too, so it's nice to see there's a female form and that's different color and sort of wrist, as you were saying.
I definitely was not expecting a male and female variant as well. And then when they showed up this white striped Boscolin, I'm just wondering now, like, is this a Pokemon that goes extinct later and then we get the blue one, or does this gradually turn into the blue one that we have later, in the other games? But more curious about the lore for that one now, for that female Boscoligian, because did they show a regular Boscolin in the trailers, or no? They didn't. So okay, so
I don't think so.
Okay, so in that case, then it's just that white stripe is, I'm assuming, the
Yep.
ancestor of all Basculins. Then, and then it's not bad. We'll just see how what if there's any other differences between
Moving forward, we have Hisuian Zora and Zoroark.
This is probably one of the bigger, I think, mons that were revealed officially at the time of when they were actually revealed, and I'm down for it. It's our first normal ghost type, it's. I'm hoping it's just gonna be. It's already aesthetically pleasing to look at, I guess, in a sense, because I do like the white and red combination, and it already looks pretty cool and edgy for me. So I'm 100%. Probably like most people, I'll probably start having it on my team as well for the game once I get it. But yeah, I think it looks good, and I can't wait to have it on my team.
I like the Hisuian form for both Zoroark and Zora, and dual typing a normal ghost, which we never had before. So I'm happy to see it, and then I can't wait to see what their stats gonna be overall. And when they show off the gameplay, or at least like how they look in the game, they look really amazing, design, beautiful. So can't wait to get one.
For me, I definitely appreciate the typing, and I love the design on this one. I think this one was a no-brainer for me, just because they captured the essence of that ghost type with the wispy hair. I think it's perfect, and the typing is rock solid. This is definitely one of the ones that I like two more, and I mean, it's hard to compete with the newer mons, but they really did show the better ones off early and kept the ones, in my opinion, for till release. So we've come to Hisuian Bravery, flying psychic type.
So I like this new form, Hisuian Bravery, because I'm a fan of Revelant, the first form, right? Baby form, and then to see to get a new type and a new form, which is really good, and then to use it as a right Pokemon, I actually love it. So, and then this go probably one I will probably choose for my flying type one.
For me, I think it's all right. Psychic flying type, sure. That's fine. It's also Braviary, probably definitely one of my favorite bird type Pokemon, flying type Pokemon, I should say. Just to see it get a regional evolution is pretty sick to see. After looking at all these mons again, I think I should definitely go through the game with only the brand new Pokemon. Now that I'm trying to think about it, I should probably just do that on my first playthrough or something. But I think it looks alright. I just can't wait to see how it's gonna be because I think Braviary was mostly known for being a physical attacker, and since it's got a psychic typing now, maybe it'll be a special attack.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a special because that's how psychic are known for.
See, this is one of the ones that, again, it's they didn't really do too much with it. The coloring is nice, the overall is nice, but I'm just not a fan of the fact that they just did so little with it, and again, another missed opportunity for me.
Oh, you mean the design, or
yeah, design wise?
So you want a complete new look instead of
if you look at Obstagoon. I mean, Obstagoon and Lanoon, yeah, they have the similar build and their color change is different, but it was such a stark change that resonated a bit more. They didn't really do so much. This one feels more washed out than anything else to me, with just the front loops just changed. And it just, for some reason, for me, this one, I like it, but it just didn't hit hard enough. So next we have Hisuian Avalugg.
I'm somewhat like the design. It's a rock ice typing, right?
Yep.
It looks okay. I was hoping they change it into a more badass typing, but the way how it looks alright to me. I don't really like it. I prefer the original Avalugg. So the typing, I do not like the typing. The reason Ice Rock because it's really weak to fighting and steel, if I'm correct, right? 4 times, which is great.
I'm definitely gonna have to agree with the Ice and Rock typing as well. It's just giving it more weaknesses, and that's kind of a letdown because Avalugg originally was known for having its super high defense and very frail HP and whatnot. But now you're giving it another typing that just makes it even have more weaknesses or take even more damage from something it's already weak to. So a little disappointed on the competitive aspect for this Pokemon, but I think looks-wise, I think it looks alright. I think it makes sense to look how its typing is, especially if this is a game that takes place how many years before the current games. I do like that icebreaker or something that it has underneath its face, because I think that makes it look a little menacing. I was hoping for it to look a little bit more cooler as well, but I'm down for this. And just for probably like memes or something, I'll probably even try to put it on my team as well.
I wish it was at least like an ice ground type, at least that way it's
Yeah, like
better,
Mammal Spawn, right?
like the Mammoth one, because that way it should have been like that because it would have been better, and the way how they designed it.
For me, I kind of appreciate the fact that it's Antarctica. If you think about it, Avalugg can be both Antarctica and the Arctic, because one is a giant ice that thinks it's a continent, and this is a continent that's surrounded in ice. So if you look at them being the polar ice caps, it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I find it funny that they ended up doing a polar ice cap Pokemon. If you think about it, typing, yeah, I have to agree, the typing's going to be really horrible. But I actually like the design because it does mimic a lot of things that Pokemon does tend to do, where it mimics nature's affinity. And in this case, the legs and the body being rock, just covered in a little ice. At the same time, again, this one has the same problem that some of the other mons that have an opportunity to do something really, really unique and awesome, but it really just looks like it just got a coat of paint.
I think it should have been like an ice steel type.
Moving on, we have Hisuian, Sliggoo, and Goodra, Dragon Steel typing. Considering that it's based on a snail or a slug, I get the design. I get what they were trying to do with this design. But once again,
Missed opportunity.
it's not so much as a missed opportunity. I'm just trying to figure out where the design was coming from specifically. Like, why choose the Dragon Steel? Why not make it Dragon Rock? Which would make a little more sense to me. Also, Hisuian Goodra definitely, once again, has that feel of, hey, look, it's a Digimon, Mori Shellmon. Remember that rumor that we actually did a few weeks ago?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I can't believe that it actually was legit. But yeah, for me, this one may grow on me. I don't know. Sliggoo Goodra was actually a favored mon of mine because maybe
Same.
look-wise wasn't all that, but it definitely had that nice good. But this just, I don't know. It don't sit right with me.
As a dragon enthusiast, a dragon typing enthusiast, maybe not enthusiast, but as a lover of dragon type Pokemon, typing wise, perfect. It just reminds me of like Dialga and Duraludon. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it design wise at all. Like, Sliggoo gets a small pass because it kind of looks adorable coming out of the shell, but then I'm just looking at Goodra and I'm like, I cannot. It's just, maybe I need to see the in-game model to see the whole thing, like a 360 view kind of thing. But right now, this ain't doing it for me. I am excited to find out though if, because the Goodra was originally a special defense tank, if this adds on to it and also makes it like a full-on tank, both special and physically, then okay, fine. I can work with it because it's like super tank kind of Pokemon, But other than that, design-wise,
I like the Hisuian Sluggo. Yeah, look, it looks pretty cool, like coming out of itself. But for Goodra, I feel like they could have done it more to it. I feel like all they did is stick the tail and change it into like a metal piece, right? Like it has like a giant snail on the back. I'm like, nah, yeah, it's not appealing to me. Like, should have been better than that. If they were gonna do it, it should have like been different. And then for the Dragon Steel type, I should like it.
Moving on, we have the next genie, Enamorous, both incarnate and Therian form. It's a flying fairy type.
But to have a new type, I was not expecting for us to have a new, whether Pokemon typing. The design for it, I like it wise. Is it? And it's fake, right? So it's fairy flying. I don't think we have that many type of that. The how they design it, it looks pretty cool overall. And I can't wait to see what I can do in the game. So
I'm gonna say, first off, I give props to the name Enamorous. Now we know for sure, like, it's the fourth genie of the three genies or whatever. And the fact that it's using the play on words with enamor and like how it looks with the whole like heart on its head and the color scheme and everything, I'll give them props for that. Other than that, its incarnate form is okay. I can definitely get genie vibes off of it. The Therian form, not a big fan of it at all. I think I think there was like a thing going around showing like what the Therian forms are based off of for the genies. I think it was like the 4 cardinal directions or something like that. But like, I'm not I'm not a fan of how this one looks. It's kind of. I'm thinking, you know what? They may even like show up a fifth genie at one point because of that. Because the one genie to rule them all. Who knows? Like. Other than that, like the incarnate form more than the Hisuian form.
For me, the incarnate form I can kind of see, but I'm trying to see the connection between Thunderous, Landorus, Tornadus. But it's just like you're triplets, and you just got told to bring your little brother with you. And your little brother's like 6, and you guys are in your late teens. This is kind of what this feels like. The design doesn't connect with the genies that we already have established in any way, shape, or form other than the cloud base.
Mm-hmm.
And the Therian form, I'm so underwhelmed on this one. There's a limit of how much you're going to try and push a theme when you're designing a creature. The incarnate form does well. The Therian form just goes too far. If you look at the tip of the nose, it's a heart shape. Its head, it's a heart shape. The scales on the snake is a heart shapes. Are heart shapes. Like, okay, we get it. You're about hearts and love, and even in your name. But how does being enamored, being in love, have anything to do with land, thunder, or wind? And to me, that's the big disconnect on this one. This is one of these forms that I am honestly, I am hating. And again, it's just for me, this is one of those major fails when it comes to a design on a Pokemon monster. But I think there wasn't enough cohesion with already existing Pokemon for this to be a fourth. And finally, we get to the Lord forms of Dialga and Palkia, or however they're actually being called.
I don't know what to say about this form. I was not expecting it, but to hear them to be combined with Arceus, I will understand why they shape and forming new design for this. So I'm hoping when they fuse, it looks really good. Otherwise, I don't know what to say. This kind of give me like a Digimon vibe, the way how they look like. I mean, I get what they're doing. It just I'm not understanding why they need it to look like this. Especially with Palkia, it doesn't have any arm. But like I said, I'm gonna give it a chance before I say no to it.
So first off, I didn't realize that there was the Arceus rings on these Pokemon when I first saw them. So that's pretty cool. I guess what you were saying earlier about Arceus making these guys or having why it's the reason why these guys look like this. Okay, first off, still Dragon type Dialga. It looks fine. I don't like the thing on its neck. It looks like it's got something lodged in there. Front legs look okay, I guess, but I don't see like I'll probably just imagine this Pokemon's actually just like levitating while it moves. Palkia, what the heck did they do for this form? Like, it's missing arms. I get like maybe it's supposed to be a centaur thing, yeah, or his arms move to where his front legs are now, or something. But why? Why? They could have done something. They could have at least left his arms. He would have looked a lot more cooler, But I don't know. Palkia Lord form? No. I'm sorry. I'm going more towards the Dialga Lord form, but even then, that one still kind of bled to me too. But
for me, there's only one thing to say about these two forms from me. But I think it's better if y'all hear it from, Mr. Mackey. Mr. Mackey, what do you have to say about this?
Drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. Okay.
Yeah, no, seriously. I would like to understand what the Pokemon Company designers were thinking when this was put out and they said, let's go with this. I am absolutely beside myself because between this and Enamorous, wow. These forms, I will collect them as a living dex collector, but I don't even think I'll remotely use them if I can avoid using them. I absolutely hate these forms. And again, I understand that there's people in our community that absolutely love these forms. No hate on you. If you love these forms, by all means, take every ounce of love you have for them and just go with it. Me personally, no, these are complete and total fails. Like I like the fact they tried to connect Arceus to these two forms, and until you said something, son, I actually missed that in the design, and for that I give them props for that. I see the connection now between Dialga, Palkia, and Arceus, which ties their lore together a bit more cleaner. However, the designs that they chose for this, I'm trying really, really hard to understand. I can kind of see more Dialga, but Palkia, Palkia for me, I just can't. There's just something about it that just totally whiffed. And like I said, these designs are just, for me, are just a complete and total flop. And with that, we bring our episode to a close. Hope you guys enjoyed everything. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what were your favorite Pokemon forms that were released with this game. Any ones resonated hard with you? Any of them that are total flops? Let us know. And as always, thank you for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye bye.